Hey guys, it's Andy with One Shot at Life YouTube channel. Real quick, I just want to go over everything that you need to go shoot a USPSA or an IDPA match. It's something I got into 11 months ago, and the first time I showed up, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know what I needed. I knew nothing. So I bought a gun, bought a gun belt, and showed up, and it worked out okay. I should have waited probably to buy some of the stuff that I did or didn't, because there's just so much you don't know. Um, the first thing I'll start with is I bought, this is a Bucks holster and a core belt, and these are Bucks mag carriers. This Bucks holster, they're local here. That's why I bought this. It's not the nicest holster in the world, but it does the job. It wasn't that expensive. And down here in Southwest Florida, they're kind of my neighbors, so I wanted to support them. This is a drop offset, obviously. This is not IDPA legal, and that's one of the things I showed up with this. I didn't know any better, and it's my local club. They let me do it. They're pretty laid back, which is I hope that you show up at a club if you go decide to try this. It's as laid back as that one. And if you don't ask, like if you don't walk up to them and say, "Hey, is this legal?" No one's going to say anything. If you're just showing up, they'll walk you through the paces. Make sure the only thing they care about is if you're safe, if it's a good club. But if you walk up and ask them, they're going to tell you no. So if you have a drop offset and you want to shoot IDPA for the first time, just wear it. Ear Pro walkers now, I think it's not an expensive one. I think they were $60. Gotta have it. And the Bluetooth is nice, especially when you're a new shooter, because you can, not Bluetooth, the noise canceling is nice because you need to hear commands. And if you're doing something unsafe and they tell you to stop, they want you to stop like right now. And you need to be able to hear that, which, with regular muffs, you might not. And then if you do something unsafe and continue to do it, probably going to tell you to leave. So noise canceling, I definitely recommend. Ammo, especially like if you're going to your first match or just trying to get into this or just want to try it out, probably is more like the way I was a year ago when I started. This is what I used. Laser 115s. They're hot. They're snappy. They do shoot clean. I like that because it keeps my gun clean. I'm so used to them now. I've shot about 10,000 of these this year that I'm not going to change. There's heavier. You can go to a 124 or a 147, and there's a lot of guys that are going to tell you got to do this, got to do that. Just show up with some ammo. It's not real important. Just do whatever you do. If it's just like archery, I shoot archery. Do it the same way every time, and there's no wrong way. I shoot in Hey Dudes. A lot of guys wear cleats and various, array of athletic shoes. Depends on. Sometimes it rains. It's wet out there. They'll cancel the match usually, but if it's nice and dry, this is what I wear. They're really light. They have good traction. Surprisingly, they stick to my feet good, and I don't like to bind up my ankle because it puts pressure on my knees. That's just me. But a good pair of shoes, whatever that means to you, these are what I like. Recently started running liquid chalk because I'm in Southwest Florida, and in the summertime matches, it is hot. I mean, wicked hot. So you're drenched constantly. Everything is soaked, and handling a firearm under pressure at speed with slippery hands is no good. That's you probably at least could imagine what that leads to. So this was kind of a must-have for me, and I've continued to run it even now. We're into December, so it's cooled down, humidity's down, but I just like it, so I still use it. And it's cheap. I think Amazon, I don't know what I paid for this, but Amazon, you put liquid chalk into Amazon, all the options in the world. And last is your pistol. This is a SIG SXG. I just bought it. I sold a SIG 320 AXG Legion. It was a great gun. It was only 3.9-inch barrel, which I can do a video on that later. The sight radius was still a 5-inch gun. Actually a 4.7, I think, on that one. But it did have a slide compensator on it. So I would get flack even at this local level that I should be shooting open class, which I wanted to shoot limited optic. That's what I've been shooting. And I did shoot it limited optic with that gun here. I would just get an earful about it. So I sold that gun and bought this. These are my first. That was my first SIG. This is my second SIG. Like I said, this is a 320 SXG. It's a full 5-inch gun. It weighs 50.4 ounces with no red dot and an empty magazine. It's a heavy gun. It's full stainless. And with the red dot on there, I think I'm at about 53 and a half, 54. So it's got some good weight to it. I like that. Some guys don't. But this X grip really fits my hand, and that's just what you're looking for. You need a gun that fits you, or just bring what you have. If you got an XD or a Glock, or a lot of guys shoot Glock and they do very well, you don't need anything fancy. Just have the gun that you're somewhat familiar with to where you can be safe and show up at a match. If it's like I said, if it's a good club, the guys will take you in and walk you through everything, and they want to see you be safe. And they should guide you through those process. You're not going to show up and be the fastest guy there. It's just not going to happen. But to cross that threshold and go try, a lot of people I think are nervous about doing that, or self-conscious, or whatever the case. I've invited people to come shoot with me in the last year, and they don't want to. And I think that it's just self-consciousness that's holding them back. But if you get in with a group of people like I did, and I'm sure there's some clubs out there that don't welcome newcomers, and just find a different one. But these guys were really cool. They took me in, and they didn't until I started shooting good. Once I got last place the first 3 events I went to, like dead last out of like 60 people. But once I started improving and my skills started to build rapidly, and I started, then I was middle of the pack, and 15 to 25th place, and people start to shy away from me a little bit. But the first time you go, just show up, be safe, have fun. Have your gear. Don't be asking people, hey, can I borrow this? Like, that's not a good way to start. It's not a good first impression. But bring your stuff. Everything on this table is essentially all you need. And show up and have fun and try it out. If you don't like it, never go back. But I really encourage people to try it, because I was nervous to do it. I drug my feet. My fiance was like, just go see what it's all about, because I had no idea. And a year later, I put 12,000 rounds through my gun. I've purchased new guns, new sights. This stuff has all stayed the same. So I did pretty good picking this out. Like I said, when I bought it, I had no clue. Had these ammunition, you're going to go through a bunch. But just get out there and try it and have fun. And it's great to see people, their reaction the first time. It's very humbling. But if you get past that, that embarrassment, because you're going to have, like the first time I went, I had 30 people standing behind me, and he held that buzzer up to my ear and asked me if I was ready. And I'm like, absolutely not. I am not ready. But it's time to go. And from that first push off to now 11 months later, I can't leave it alone. It's all I think about. It's all I want to do. It's a very, very good hobby. It's a good sport. And I encourage people to try it, even if it's way out of your comfort zone. You'll learn quickly and if you meet the right people. And like I said, if you don't, just go to a different club. So get out there, give it a shot. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and I'll answer what I can.